how many of you have stress in your life? And what are these stressors coming from, and what are they doing to your life and to your business and to your body? In today's video, we're going to be talking about just that. But before I get started, I really want you to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Make sure to turn on the bell and the notifications so each and every time I come up with a new video for you, you will get notified. So let's talk about this stress. So stress hormones, cortisol, adrenaline, those hormones are very addictive and they're very acidic. How many people do you know that started drinking our amazing water and started noticing less inflammation or pain? That is because those hormones of stress are acidic. So when our body's in fight or flight because of a mental stress or a physical stress, our body's gonna have adrenaline, it's gonna have cortisol. Those hormones are ravaging around our body and they're acidic. And once your body gets safe, all those stress hormones, they accumulate and they sit in certain areas of your body. Now that's acid waste that's produced from the hormones of stress. So when we're drinking a large amount of this water that's very alkaline, it comes into the body and it starts flushing out these hormones of stress, which is why a lot of people say, wow, I notice less inflammation and pain in my body. Well, the fact is you're very stressed out, my friend, and most likely you're craving sugar and you're craving salt, because those two things also help your body deal with stressors in your life. So on top of that, what else is stress doing besides giving us pain? Well, we are creative beings. That's what we're here to do, is create. And when you're under the hormones of stress, it procrastinates us. It slows us down. Your body, it can only think about one thing, itself, and how to keep you safe. And so we stop creating, we start focusing on things and people and places in our life because our body is trying to protect itself. So when we're doing that all the time to ourselves, our body becomes very addicted to the chemicals. So your body, the body says, ooh, I want more stress in my life because it's giving me adrenaline, it's giving me cortisol, I'm running, I'm fighting, I'm hiding, I've got energy. And so pretty soon you wake up in the morning and all of a sudden the thought comes to you. The thought can put your body in stress. So imagine that you do not like your job. You're going to work in the morning and you start thinking about your boss. Then you start thinking about your coworker. And then your body starts getting the cravings of the stress hormones. It says, ooh, yeah, there's my cortisol, there's my stress. Ooh, that gives me energy. And so now every time we have that thought, your body goes into the fight or flight. So it can do this with all different things in your life, and that's how our body becomes addicted to it. So if you wake up in the morning and there's no stresses in your life, if your body's addicted to it, it's going to start creating the stress for you. And all of a sudden you get a thought and the thought runs down to the trail and your mind always thinks worst case scenario. And so you're thinking the worst possible case in the field, in the environment, and that's what your brain is going to. It puts you in fight or flight. We get the hormones of stress, which wreak havoc on all the other systems in our life. So how do we take control of this? Well, I'll give you a few tips which helped me. So for 8 years, most of you know my story. I was clinically obese, I had mercury poisoning, adrenal fatigue, and I lost my female cycle for 8 entire years. I had no periods as a female. Well, my body was under a lot of stress because I was placing the stress upon myself. I didn't know what was wrong with me because I had so many issues. So I kept researching it, and pretty soon it'd lead me down a trail, and pretty soon I think I've got cancer or I've got a pituitary gland tumor. And then I thought, oh my gosh, I'm getting so overweight, I've got to exercise. And not just a little exercise, I've got to over-exercise. And so then I was putting another stressor in my body, and I did this for 8 years. And as you know, when I started drinking the Kangen water, my body transformed very rapidly because my body started going back into balance. But since then, there's other things we can do as well, because sometimes water isn't going to fix all the problems. Most likely, it's one component. But our mindset is another component, which I want to get into a little bit today for you. So one thing I would recommend if you're noticing that you're under the hormones of stress a lot, you're thinking negative thoughts. Thinking negative is going to lead to fear and doubt. When you're under fear and doubt, you go into anxiety, which goes into depression, which goes into disease. So it all starts with your stinking thinking. So if you want to have a better life and you want to have income, you want to have financial freedom, whatever that means to you, you've got to change your thoughts first to stop your body from going into anxiety, because that energy is not an energy that you can create in. So instead, be aware of your thoughts. So for instance, if you have a negative thought coming in, like, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this Kangen water business, or I don't know how I'm going to pay for my machine because it's, an expense and I don't know where I'm going to get the money. So now what happens is you're going down the trail of negative. So I want you to right away notice the thought. You're going to change the thought into a positive thought. You're going to say, what am I going to do with all the money that I'm creating with this Kangen water business? And now pretty soon you're going to get happy. You're going to transmute that negative energy into a higher energy, which is where you want to be to create in your life and have those people show up into your life. You probably heard of the law of attraction. Well, that's a secondary law. The first law is the law of vibration. Everything vibrates. So you and me are vibrating right now. We're vibrating energy. So when you're in fear, anxiety, guilt, shame, resentment, abandonment, those energies are very, very low. And then we attract, law of attraction or law of vibration, the same group of people that we are like. So we don't want to be in that energy. So to change it, you're going to say to yourself, what would I love? Or now that I have all this abundance coming to me, what am I going to do with my life? Where am I going to travel? Who am I going to talk to? What kind of car am I going to drive? Am I going to sit first class or business class? What am I going to do? So start to create. And what you're going to notice is, you're going to notice instead of being sad, you're going to smile. You're going to be happy. You're going to start looking forward to your future. What that's going to do is your body is going to get into a different vibration, which puts you into a different state of action. And you're going to go out there and you can create things in your life that you never knew were possible just by changing your mindset alone. So for those of you that are interested in hearing more about this, I have a new course that we're going to be launching on the 15th of August. You definitely want to make sure to stay on board with that. It's going to be a 3-month course. If you're interested, there's a link below. Go ahead and just give us your information there, and either me or one of my sales representatives will be on the phone with you to discover if this is going to be the right course for you to change your mindset and get the things you deserve in life. Okay, so change your thoughts. Next thing, write down in a journal every single day. One of my mentors, Bob Proctor, taught me this just last year. I am is a very powerful statement. Whenever you say I am, you become it. You are teaching your body, or you're getting your body conditioned for the future. You're teaching it what's going to happen. So it's going to follow, your body is going to follow your mind. So the moment you tell yourself something, it's going to happen. So if you say, I have anxiety, guess what you have now? You have anxiety, and your body's going to go into anxiety. So you've got to be very careful with those I am statements. So before you become it, you've got to believe that it's achievable. That's part of your belief system, your pattern, your programming per se. So your sets of habits and beliefs that got you to where you're at today. That's your paradigm. And sometimes it can be very difficult to change that paradigm. But when you really focus on your I am statements every single day, like Bob says, write 3 entire pages. So maybe your goal is to become 6A. So you're going to write, I am 6A. I am 6A, I am 6A, I am 6A. And even though you're not a 6A yet, when you tell yourself something long enough, even a lie, you start to believe the lie. So that's what you're doing. You're conditioning your body to a new destination. You're getting it to believe before it's actually there, which puts you into a different vibration of energy. So you do that for at least 30 minutes every day, 3 entire pages. I am a 6A, or I am a millionaire, whatever it is that you want. That's your goal. Next step to this is you write down exactly how your life is now that you are a 6A. And what you're doing, you have intellectual faculties. You have 6 of them. We'll be going over this more in the course. But one of them is your imagination. And there is a law in the universe that states, whatever you imagine, if you keep it there long enough, it has to manifest itself in a physical form. So for instance, your cell phone that you have right now, first it started with a thought and then it became a thing. So if you keep an image in your mind of the goal you want and your life the way you see it, eventually it has to manifest itself. But it's your focus, another intellectual faculty, your will, that keeps the image in your mind, and your intuition that also helps play a role in asking the question to the universe to figure out how I'm going to get to my goal. We'll be going over more and more of that. So you've got change your thoughts, become aware. You've got writing in your journal, I am, and then whatever it is you want. And now that I am a 6A, I'm so happy and grateful. And then write out the story of your life. So those are some really good ways to practice this. So you can start to change your vibration and your energy to get out of the fight or flight, because it's not productive to be in that energy. And on top of that, meditation is key. A lot of people say, well, man, I tried to meditate, but I can't meditate because I can't quiet my mind. Because you have an analytical mind that wants to analyze everything. And so one of the keys to meditation is getting out of the analytical mind to get into the subconscious mind where you can actually create. And so there again, we'll be talking about that more in the upcoming course. But make sure, if you're interested in this lifestyle, in this business, or perhaps you have a business already, you just need some coaching, there should be a link right below. Schedule an appointment with one of us and we'll be happy to help you on your journey here with us. And until I see you in the next video, be happy, be healthy, and be free. And I hope you enjoyed these tips today on stress.